but I'm glad to be here. It's an honor. Um, it's when Dana first reached out to me, I was like, I'm sure there's someone higher in the political chain of on the political ladder you could probably get, because JFNCS is so well known. And then I always reflect when I get the opportunity to talk with Judy or with any of you guys, and we're talking about JFNCS, because I do think about the time when we walked into Martin Sabo's office and we were asking for federal funding to help with this JFNCS program called Nurturing Our Retired Citizens. And Keith Ellison came in with us and really helped kind of seal the deal when he was a state representative, because of the scope of the area that we were going to be serving seniors, included part of North Minneapolis. So it's always, I love being able to talk with the Jewish community, because I feel like it's kind of coming full circle. And of course, obviously, there are so many friends that are on this, that I'm looking at here on the screen, not just Golden Valley folks, but some are Golden Valley alum, or still have ties to Golden Valley. It's like, whereas I see, Your Honor, Mr. Green, Judge Greenberg, and of course, Deborah with, her family connection. And let's see, I'm trying to think of who else am I seeing? Lee, an alum of Golden Valley, and then of course JFNCS moving. I got so thrilled when I heard when Judy told me about the plans a number of years ago. So it just, I don't need to tell you guys how great JFNCS is and how important JFNCS is. But it definitely, in my mind, when I was told that you guys wanted to move to Golden Valley, it really, in my mind, that's a statement move for Golden Valley. We are so lucky to have this flagship organization, in not just for the Jewish community, but in the metro area, to be centered in Golden Valley. So thank you very much. I say that every time, but it never gets old. I really want to say thank you to you guys for the volunteer work that you do. It is thankless. I know it's a mitzvah, right? We're commanded to do it. We just finished, not just, but, Passover was now, gosh, geez, a month ago. We're now, we're hitting Lag BaOmer here pretty soon. We're commanded to remember we were slaves in Egypt. We need to remember and never forget. And I think by doing these mitzvot, the volunteering, the cards, the transportation, even planning the Laugh on Their Behalf annual event, it's a labor of love, but it's mitzvot, and it's so important. It makes such a huge difference. I have to say, the Laugh on Their Behalf event, I think this year's was the best, and not because it was virtual and we didn't have to sit together. I missed that part, but this guy was just hilarious, and I swear he wanted to take Peg Mandel and her laugh on the road with him. Forget the fact that the guy was so talented with his different sounds that he could make. Who knows how many hours he spent in front of a mirror, like honing those sound making skills. But what people don't see is the hours of time going, the volunteers planning that event. And of course, now we're all virtual. It takes even longer to do it, right? Because we have to unmute or mute, or our camera doesn't work, or we're upside down, or, and then there's all the, the filters that people accidentally put on. So just a big thank you to you guys. And I just want to say, in terms of Golden Valley, it really does mean a lot to us. We do have, even though it is a very successful community, always brag about how it's a great location in the metro area. We've got good schools. We really do have fabulous schools. Private, public schools are phenomenal in Golden Valley. We have beautiful neighborhoods and parks and trails. Believe it or not, I was actually out on Bassett Creek this morning with WCCO Channel 4 for a Finding, what is it called? Minnesota, I don't know. John Lauritsen does a Finding Minnesota feature, and they're featuring Bassett Creek in a couple weeks. So it's a great community, but we have people who really have needs. And I can tell you with COVID, it has been pretty hard this past year. But for you guys, I really think there would have been more families that would have suffered here in our community. I know the partnership that you guys have with PRISM is critical. I can't underscore that enough. It is just unbelievably critical. The fact that the food shelf has, I can't remember the numbers now, but the food shelf has just, increased exponentially for the need of those who are coming in. And that means the need for volunteers is increasing exponentially as well. So for you guys to be there with the Shop for Change opening up and you guys also helping to provide support there, it really helps people try to stabilize their home life as best as possible. And so I just can't thank you enough, but we're going to have to keep doubling down on this. I can tell you that, because we're not out of the woods yet. You guys know that. We've heard all the cliches. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We hope it's light at the end of the tunnel and not a train coming right at us, right? But also our community is going through, our communities are going through a challenging time, even though the verdict, I think, that came out from the Derek Chauvin trial was a big relief to many. It is really just the start. We're doing a lot of work here in Golden Valley, but there's a lot of work that many mayors and many council members are talking about around the metro area. And that also includes reaching out and working with our community organizations like you guys. So, so stay tuned for that. Because we are going to need voices. We're going to need to do a lot of listening, a lot of empathizing and sympathizing, and realizing that we at times unintentionally look through the wrong kind of lens, and we need to change that. And so we're starting to do that at City Hall and here in the community. And I'm sure that that is being talked about in many circles throughout not just this metro area, but throughout the country and throughout the world.